Hello everyone, Michael here, and welcome to the unboxing of the HTC Vive. Now, as I open this package up with a butcher knife that I happened to find next to a whole bunch of raspberries, we actually got this back on May 3rd, and, well, it cost me about $901.97, which is not cheap whatsoever. So, unboxing everything and removing the FedEx slip telling us everything that we needed to know about it, there is the HTC Vive in nice foam and plastic packaging. And thank goodness it was not damaged in any way of the sort. So, removing the foam and the plastic, which I had a little bit of an issue because I didn't realize it was at the top, we see the HTC Vive box, which will be unboxed in a second. Taking off the plastic, there's the HTC Vive logo, the SteamVR compatibility icon, HTC, and a reflective front-facing version of the HTC Vive headset, which, if you can get it in the right way so you can see it in the light, looks really cool. Now, I do want to note that under this front end of the box actually has a whole bunch of foam on top of it, which is great for packaging up. And first thing that we see is the Get Started guide, telling us everything that we need to know in terms of the lighthouse placements, along with anything else that we need. First thing is the lighthouse boxes. I'm going to be honest, they were bigger than I initially thought, as they looked a lot smaller in the videos. And of course, this thing was nicely packed and, of course, very tight that I had a few issues getting the thing out. Now, as for the controllers, it has the strap. The build quality does not feel cheap whatsoever, and actually feels like it can actually take quite a beating, which is quite nice. We get straight to the blue box, which contains the link box, which of course connects the HTC Vive to the computer, a health and safety warning guide, and the power cord for the link box. Now, the two things I forgot to take out of it was the HDMI cable and the cloth to clean the lenses with. And for the main attraction, the HTC Vive, which my first reaction was it was actually heavier than I thought, as you can see as I accidentally dropped it. But everything inside it was nice and wrapped. The camera had that blue film on it to protect it, and the cable was nice and packed with some zip ties on it. So, going back to the boxes again, or at least the lighthouse box, under it, and strangely enough, this is the only box, or at least the foam packaging, that has two circles on the back. But anyways, we see under it is the link cable in case the optical sync does not work, a base installation guide, which pretty much tells you everything that you need to know, including screws and everything else, and the power cables to power up the lighthouse boxes. Looking under the controllers, we pretty much have everything that we need to charge them. They use a micro USB to charge them. You can plug them anywhere, but of course they do give you USB to AC adapters, so you can just plug them into a spark plug. And everything else there is just information of anything that you need to know to get the thing running. Now, the initial setup took us about 51 minutes, and the reason for this was, well, it was making sure that everything was all set to go. First thing that we started with was the lighthouse boxes, because we knew that was going to be a pain in the butt. Now, of course, the guide says they recommend a height of 6.2.5 feet, but unfortunately our tripods do not go not even 6 feet, so we had to compromise and ended up with 5 feet. And as you can see later in the video, it works just fine. After plugging them in and making sure that one of them is set to B and the other one's set to C ranges, so that way they can see each other and see the green light, we go ahead and we move on to the link box, because we decided we might as well have that thing connected and all set to go. We then go up to my computer and install the HTC Vive software. After making sure the thing was actually loading properly, we go ahead and open up the HTC Vive application. Of course, we go through all the legal stuff, and the first thing that it installs is the Vive software, which we have to link it to either through our own Vive account or Google, Facebook, or Steam. Once that's installed, it'll check and see if Steam is installed along with SteamVR. And going on to next, we'll talk about all the components that we should find inside, along with what does what and how to get everything all set up. The first one is the lighthouse boxes. Of course, the next part is talking about the headset, which does what, which knob, which button does each, yada yada. And of course, I will also talk about the link box, which we have everything already set up. So at this point, it was kind of irrelevant to us. Then it talks about the Then it talks about the controllers and pretty much it was stuff that we at this point already know. So once that was done, we go ahead and take my computer downstairs so we can get everything all set up, plugging in all the HDMI cables, keyboard, mouse, anything of the sort. And after doing a quick check to make sure that the play area is all set, we go ahead and we hop right in to the SteamVR room setup. Now, I do want to point out real quick that the area that we're recording, which is our living room, is 13.5 feet wide and 15.6 feet long. And there it is. As I said, we make sure everything is all set to go, everything's working, and we go straight into running the room setup. Now, of course, the first thing it asks us to do is make sure that the whole area is clear, make sure that the lighthouse boxes do see the controllers and the headset. Then go to the center of the room and point the controller straight at the screen and hold the trigger. Then it asks us to put the controllers on the floor, so that way it can calibrate the floor, so that way it will know where the floor is. And of course, the last part is setting up the play area. Now, this is actually kind of interesting, as we ended up doing this at least 2 more times after this, because we ended up getting a player area of 9.1 feet wide and 10.8 feet long play area. Finally, after all that, we're all set to go to run the tutorial for how to use the HTC Vive headset and the controllers. So just to give a quick first impression, the overall was, I actually really liked it. I was actually kind of convinced that I was actually there in that big large sound room talking to a big ball. But due to the screen door, it did kind of ruin the effect a little bit, at least for me. But overall, I'm kind of excited to see what type of programs people make in the near future. So here's my highlights of this thing. That thing is floating away.
It is floating away.
Oh, can you hand me the controller, please? Something's very wrong with this controller.
Either that or the play area. You can't track it.
Hello? I'm ready. Oh, jeez. Goodness. That scared the heck out of me.
You're here. Welcome to virtual reality, or VR. I am the Virtual Reality Assistance and Education Corps. I shall be your guide for the next few minutes to show you how everything works. Let's get started. Have a look around you. The orange border in which you're standing is called the play area. The boundaries of your play area would
Whoa.
Lastly, take a small step back, just until the chaperone bounds disappear.
You
Perfect.
are big, sir.
Now, have a look at the controllers you're holding. Go ahead, move them around. Wave them in front of your face. They are accurately tracked to your movements. Let's go through each of the controller buttons. On the underside of the controller is a trigger button. Give that a squeeze. Oh my! Oh, that's just quite dangerous. Let's just turn that off for the moment. Next, find the grip buttons located on either side of the controller. Press one of them. Ah! Yeah, very festive. The large circle on the controller is the trackpad. It should be beneath your thumb. Slide your thumb around the trackpad. Notice that it shows you where you are touching the pad. The trackpad is also a button. Press in on the trackpad now. Oh, I wonder where that was hiding. Different VR experiences can use... Note that most VR experiences will pause while the dashboard is on screen. You can use the trigger to select items on the dashboard, and the dashboard can be closed by pressing the system button again. Well, I believe that's everything you need to know. You're free to stay here and play with the controllers for as long as you like. Whenever you're finished, open the dashboard and start exploring.
Alright, and that's the HTC Vive. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions for us in regards of the HTC Vive, please ask us in the comments below. And with that, guys, I'll see you guys next time.